Hey guys, it's Wednesday morning and Melbourne just finally got a little warmer. Let's look at this guy. What's this guy's up to? Hey, late? You going so far this morning?
Look, I'm demonstrating some cutting-edge technology
Yeah?
to integrate with real estate. I'm creating some 3D mapping, 3D renders. And about a couple of weeks ago, I was got caught up in these TV commercials that is Apple Pencil. So anyway, I think a little bit irrational into purchasing habits. So I bought this pencil and I didn't really figure out how to use it. But today, look at this thing. We've got a few marketing renders for one of the projects.
Yeah.
And in order to give the feedbacks, it's so really cool to use it. All you have to do is pick up something here, right? And then, oops. If I can say, okay, the big tile, let's say 300 to 600. Okay, so that's something like that. And what I do is save the image. And once I've done that, I can send to the render guy to comment. By the way, let me know, what do you think about this render? Looking good or what? I think this gloss have a little bit issues, see? Too much gloss. And this one, a little bit too sharp. That's pretty good in terms of this Apple Pencil. All right. How's that looking?
Nice.
Anyway, we'll show you some content. Okay, so let's go downstairs and show some content.
Let's go.
Today, I want to talk to you something about what's your main task or activities as a developer or property developer you should focus on, right? So when it comes to development, there is a million items that you can focus on, okay? The truth of the matter is you can't do everything, all right? Even though you're capable of doing most of this, but you literally can't do anything. You can't duplicate yourself to really managing this nitty-gritty of all of these minor tasks, and therefore you really need to understand what the core activity that you as a developer, as a leader, should focus on. So, and this is where I think I can share with you what I mainly focus on nowadays. There's three major tasks or activities that I think I spend most of my day or night on, right? So, as a development, if you think about most of the problems that common developers, traditional, big or small, are facing right now, it probably can be these three things. One is they can't get the funding, means they don't have the money. Okay, funding doesn't necessarily means that you get a finance from the bank. It could mean that you might be able to get a finance from the bank, but you don't have the funds to complete. So funding comes from both equity side as well as the debt side of things, right? So that's the funding side of things. So most of the projects fail because they don't have the money, or halfway through, the cash is running out. The second part, or second problems most of developers are facing nowadays is they can't secure the pre-sales, or they can't exit the deal. So you might get a permit or a development approval, and now you start looking to secure a pre-sale. And if the market condition turned whatsoever, and you can't really get the or hit the minimum requirements of the pre-sales, which normally going to be one of the major criteria for you to trigger the funding. See how things link with each other. And last but not least is, if you can get a pre-sale and if you can get a funding, well, you will be in a lucky position to be able to get a deal, exit a deal, means bank a profit. If everything's plays out the way it's supposed to be. But another pitfall that I think most of the developers are facing is they lack a consistent style to acquiring strategic development sites, which is not only profitable but viable. In other words, what I call a deal flow. As a developer, not only be able to funding the thing, it's not only the issue of sell the project. You really need to think about this concept of strategically plan to fill your pipeline. I always say to the people that, you see me doing transactions and has always been so busy. And I said, the amount of the profit we're banking this financial year is the hard work we've been putting on the ground in the last financial year. In other words, so you might be banking 5 million, 10 million, or let's say banking 200,000, 500,000 from one or two projects, which is good, right? But really you need to think about is, if you've got a project on the ground, you need to looking forward and says, hey, during 2020, 2021, what type of what type of projects will be on your playbook, right? If it is, what's the scale of it, where you're going to focus on, how to acquire those sites. So this is third part is I spend most of my time focusing on how to create this strategic machine, if you want to call it, to really getting the good, profitable and viable development sites into our development pipeline. There's many ways that we can do to get a deal flow or get a pipeline filled up. One of the best and one of my favorite strategy is to assemble a strategic partners. Now, I don't mean for buy agents, I didn't mean that you're sending letters, even though those old tricks still works, especially letter bombing, it still works, right? The issue is everyone's doing that now, so it's kind of lost effect. So the same owner, if I'm getting 3 letters from 3 different development groups, all promise me the same thing, like you don't have any competitive advantage. How about the best way is you're gonna, in any industry is always 20-80 rules, means 20% of people are gonna produce 80% of the work or produce 80% of the good quality work. Same thing when it comes to site acquisition. One of the best ways that you can pumping up your deal flow is to surround yourself with true professionals. Not really buy agent, but really a seasoned pros that understand the nuances about how to assemble a development deal. They are good negotiator, they understand real estate holistically, and normally they'll be able to strike a bond with the landowner. And then if you have a very good strategic relationship with them, and what would they do is you're gonna start training them to fit you the deals to fit your criteria, okay? And then you might ask why they want to present you the deal instead of present to other people. Well, the first 2 questions answer that by itself. Means that if you are a guy that really nailed your funding model, really nail your exit. In other words, if you say to a guy, says, listen, if you give me a development site fits that criteria, I will be able to fund it. I will be able to shift it in record times, either through pre-sale or either through offloading to another developer. And if you give me a deal, what I do is I can close the transaction relatively quickly, and I pay you a percentage of the purchase price as your funder fee. In other words, you straight line up your interest with them, and they know you are a serious player. And then you put yourself on the map. And where they do is if you surround them with 5 to 10 people who really know what they're doing and really have this influence in the local market and have a good connection with local agents, local developers, local builders, and also the landowners, they will be able to funnel you so many deals that you can probably have time to really assess them. And what you do is do you need to take all of the transactions? No. If they present me with 5 deals in a week, what I normally do is I can assess 5 deals. Chances are most of the deals are still doesn't really work. But if they present them on a consistent manner, and then if you get 30 transactions to have a look at it, and all of these fits your criteria, means fits your settlement terms, fits your terms in terms of deposit. If you do 10% deposit, good. If you do 5% deposit, good. They will save you so much time, and all you have to do is looking at, right, is this development that fits with my funding model? Is this development that fits with my exit strategy? If it is, people's already negotiate acquisition term on my behalf. What I just do is looking at what are the best of the best. and you can't go wrong with it, all right? But in future episode, I'm gonna probably go a little bit more deeper in these three main areas, and this will be probably the focus of all of my teaching.
Yeah.
That's really the truly nitty-gritty and important stuff. That's what you get paid for. You're not get paid for to project managing the bloody construction site. I never enjoy it, even though I'm still doing it today, but I don't enjoy it. You never get paid by actually selling to the buyer yourself. You might saving additional commission, but that's not how you get ahead of the curve. The really magic is to spend your time on, or quality time, on tasks really gonna move the revenue needle. And a lot of times, the process is a lot simpler than what you actually think. All right. So hope this piece actually helps. Right. So anyway, if you really enjoy this type of content and you think it's really helpful, right? So I'm now created a private Facebook group in which I'm gonna, probably record this type of content on a more regular basis to show you what I do day in and day out in my development, investment, career, and the journey, right? And also, I will also conduct one live Facebook QA call every 2 weeks. So should you have any questions, maybe you have one question that wants to watch any of the content videos, or you might have developments on the ground that have got a little bit of trouble, you can ask me live on the fly. How's that sound? Okay, so if you're really interested in that, what you can do is you just click the link in this post, or just head into the website, priyafb.com, prerfb.com. For some of you, if you can help me to type that link inside the comment box, that will be really, really helpful. Okay, so and for the rest of you, should you have any questions regards to the content we've literally recorded for you now, you can also leave your comments in the comment box, and my team or myself will get back to you to answer some of the questions, and I will talk to you soon.